Chanel Williams, and my animal is the Phoenicopterus rubra, more commonly known as flamingo. The American flamingo is found in parts of North and Central America. However, flamingos have specific places for breeding. For example, they may live in Miami, but they migrate when they are ready to breed. I believe that the flamingo is not very well studied, and hopefully more research will be done on this animal in the near future. I'll be focusing on the migration of the American flamingo. From our lecture, we saw that migration is the annual movement away from and the subsequent return to the same location. Despite the American flamingo largely being considered a migratory bird, it is argued in the article above by Delfino et al. That it is not. The American flamingo migrates in response to changes in water levels and for breeding purposes. This does not always result in an annual migration. Additionally, being located at tropical latitudes, the American flamingo historically has experienced stable temperatures and rainfall. In the article above by Torres Cristiani et al., since the 1980s, Cuba has been the most common destination for the American flamingo during seasonal migration. Flamingo numbers on Hispaniola fluctuate, likely due to migrants during the non-breeding season. The number of flamingo observations in Florida has increased over the past 70 years, largely due to an increase in migration. According to Whitfield et al., this is likely the result of nesting colonies increasing their dispersal from the Bahamas, Cuba, or Mexico. Flamingos display hydrotaxis. When water levels become too high, flamingos are forced to migrate. This was observed in Kenya by Mbote, where the overflowing of lakes has resulted in migration of the flamingos, as well as the Galapagos Islands by Duenas et al. With climate change, flamingos are threatened by increasing water levels and the introduction of cold spells. In the research article by DeVille et al., it is noted that the fattest individuals who have sufficient energy stores to migrate over very long distances may leave immediately at the onset of the cold spell. On the other hand, leaner flamingos are more likely to use a wait-and-see strategy, expecting the cold spell to be short, ultimately resulting in mortality. During these cold spells, the water bodies freeze over, preventing the flamingo from getting food. I hypothesize that as cold spells become more frequent due to climate change, flamingos with larger fat stores will be selected for, and this trait will be carried forward to subsequent generations. A longitudinal study could be done comparing the average fat storage of American flamingos over a 30-year period. This class has allowed me to understand why it is that flamingos migrate. Also, I can appreciate why flamingos would not be considered migratory birds despite that they migrate for breeding and in response to changes in water levels.